Ukraine tried to attack with large columns of armored vehicles. But it was a disaster and was stopped. Meanwhile, one expert told Business Insider that Russia is using the same bad strategy over and over again. He said the battle in Avdiivka showed that Russia took months to adapt. Much longer than Ukraine. One expert told Business Insider that Russia failed to recognize that a key element of its tank strategy was failing. The mistake caused huge losses. And this is even more striking because Ukraine had already made the same mistake, only to quickly correct it. The tactic question was to deploy tanks in large groups, the hope of breaking through enemy lines. It took Russian side much longer than Ukrainians to realize this and stop doing it, said Riley Bailey, a Russia analyst at Institute for Study of War think tank. Both sides found that attacking prepared positions with armored vehicles, particularly in columns of armored vehicles, failed. Bailey said, pillars are particularly easy to block because it is obvious when an attack is coming. The flat, open ground leaves little room to hide, and drones keep constant surveillance. But while Ukraine quickly changed its tactic to stop using columns, Russia took much longer to do so. This was especially evident in Russia's intense efforts to capture the town of Avdiivka. Bailey said, Russian losses at Avdiivka are huge. U.S. intelligence said last month that Russia had lost more than 220 tanks and 13,000 men since launching an offensive there in October. One frame from the S taken near Avdiivka shows the blows inflicted on Russian vehicles. Russia advanced step by step, at great cost, without making decisive breakthroughs. Only in the last few weeks has Russia shifted to attacking with infantry around Avdiivka, leaving more vehicles behind. Bailey noted that this was a change Ukraine made very early in the year after suffering heavy losses at the beginning of its summer counteroffensive. Russian forces clearly saw that the Ukrainians made this change during the counterattack, and it paid off. But they did not internalize it, nor did they internalize their own mistakes in this regard. He even said that Russia made the same mistake more than once in Avdiivka. It suffered losses, paused and rebounded in early November, and then did the same thing again with even bigger losses. Bailey said Russia lost many more personnel and many more armored vehicles in this wave of attacks than it did the first time. Only in late December did Russia start to move into something similar to what the Ukrainians were doing. He said, Russia had other cautionary experiences with tank columns early in the war. Bailey noted, Ukraine quickly learned from its mistakes. There are no confirmed figures for Ukrainian losses during period when the counteroffensive attempted to activate columns. But S of the destroyed Ukrainian equipment emerged and made it clear that something was wrong. The counteroffensive is in full swing. The